You ain't Captain, are ya?
No, but I am Captain Material.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things you missed in The Sea Beast.
I told you she was more than a beast!
For this list, we're looking at small details, visuals, and narrative themes from Netflix's original animated adventure that may have sailed over your head. If you haven't seen it yet, beware, there'll be spoilers ahead. Did you catch anything we missed? What hidden details made you want to watch The Sea Beast again? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. The Voices. This lively whale of a tale follows a crew of monster hunters and a wily young stowaway who helps change the lives of both beasts and men. The stellar voice cast slips into their roles as adventurers with natural and resonating potency. That could be because some of them have experience in the world of fantasy folklore. Carl Urban, also Éomer from The Lord of the Rings, plays leading man Jacob.
Aye, and every hunter's scar is a life saved.
Villainous Admiral Hornigold is Dan Stevens, formerly the titular beast to Disney's live-action Beauty.
How many more ships will be lost because you let the blaster slip away?
Most notable is Jared Harris, voice of the tormented Captain Crow. Harris also portrayed Ship Commander Francis Crozier on AMC's series The Terror. It seems nautical dramatism flows through his veins, or at least his Adam's apple.
I see. Then they died heroes.
Number 9. Maisie's accent. The aforementioned wily stowaway is Maisie Brumble, a fiery young sprite who grew up with bedtime stories of seafaring explorers.
I'm partial to the Monarch, for it's the ship me parents served on.
If you listen to her closely, you might catch that her accent isn't quite the same as some of the adults. There are some me parents and meselves uniquely accented O's and double negatives that are typical of a London Cockney accent.
I come from a long line of hunters myself.
Is that so?
Me parents were lancers.
Maisie is an orphan, and the nuance in her speech reinforces this by suggesting a working-class, lesser-educated background. You may have noticed welcomed diversity in gender and ethnicity among the cast, but you probably missed hearing slight dialectic variations like this one. Everyone talks a little differently from each other. It's attention to details like this that really helps to flesh out some convincing characters.
Jacob! Captain would like a word.
Number 8. A King Kong and Kaiju care package. With The Sea Beast, director Chris Williams wanted to make an epic like the ones that inspired him. King Kong and Clash of the Titans, both stories involving legendary behemoths, were among them. Williams' love for these myths shines through in one particular sequence, when Sea Beast Red battles a giant man-eating crab. The battle plays out like a mighty tussle between Kong or Godzilla and an unforgettable kaiju enemy.
Hold on, Maisie!
There's emotional depth here too, as Red is protecting our heroes, much the same way as the famous ape defended Fay Ray in 1933. Red is also a deeply misunderstood Colossus, and the humans that come to understand this form the backbone of the movie's heartfelt story. It's great art born from movies that made us.
Listen to her!
Let the beast go!
Number 7. Costuming. Doesn't Jacob look dashing in that battle-worn sailor outfit?
Don't worry, lad. We got it right where we want it.
You might not think about costuming in an animated feature, but it is just as crucial to establishing atmosphere as it is in any major blockbuster or theatrical period piece. Your eyes may gloss over details like jewelry made from monster teeth, the unique shape of Captain Crow's hat, or protective spiked helmets worn by some mariners.
Where'd you see it?
Did it here, Jacob?
If any garb seems recognizable, that's because award-winning costume designer Michelle Clapton oversaw the clothing design. Her credits include television's Sense and Sensibility, The Crown, and a Costume Designers Guild Award for Game of Thrones. Just look at photos of Jacob next to a raggedy Jorah Mormont and you will never be able to unsee it.
I'll get some wood for a fire.
Number 6. Inspiration from Disney. Any animated film usually owes something to the legacy of Disney. The sea beast seems to be no exception, as multiple faces seem dreamed from creatures of the mouse house. An adorable blue quadruped that looks like Stitch? Check. Glowing jellyfish and fanged anglerfish like those of Finding Nemo? Check. An easily missed deep cut might be the design of Captain Crow himself, who bears striking resemblance to the underappreciated John Silver from Treasure Planet.
You're as trim and as bonny as a sloop with new sails and a fresh coat of paint.
You can even catch some design similarities to Pirates of the Caribbean, with the movement of the prickleback's tentacles and the gaping mouth of a gargantuan crustacean. We're sure our Easter egg microscopes overlooked some other Disney footprints. What did we miss?
We'll take the bluster and bring it to your doorstep.
Number 5. Authentic depiction of sailing. Landlubbers like us felt encompassed by the sense of realism that perpetuates the sea beast. One reason why might be the effort that filmmakers put in to ensure that the depiction of sailing was as true to life as possible. Animators worked from models to perfect elements like sail movement, rope behavior, and rigging equipment, and they all appeared as they would on an actual vessel. Big moments like sailors hanging from the boat's side to little ones like Jacob wrapping his scarred hand all mimic genuine practices of maritime laborers. Ropes in particular, like wet hair, are surprisingly tricky to animate, and it took 6 months of PowerPoint presentations for them to get it right. If you're on the high seas, having Netflix animation on board might come in handy. Number 4. You're always on the water. On the subject of sailing, did you notice just how often we're on the water in this movie? About 2/3 of the scenes in The Sea Beast take place on the open ocean.
Jacob, look out!
This is atypical, as keeping motion pictures constantly afloat comes with some issues. The Netflix team created a new pivot mechanic called the buoy system that simulated ocean ebb and flow. They worked with professional sailing consultants and meticulously outlined character facial expressions to harpoon the sensation of being continuously adrift.
You got it hooked? Now we'll wear it down.
You're not likely to think about the painstaking process of illustrating so much story at sea, but that just means that Netflix and ImageWorks did their job right. Is that a spot of seasickness we feel? Number 3. Literary references. If you happen to catch any nods to classic literature, you probably made your high school English teacher proud. The Sea Beast shares a somewhat outright skeleton with Herman Melville's Moby Dick. You've got the one-eyed captain, the sea monster, and the pegged leg.
It's heading for the Dregmore Sea.
Take a second gander at Captain Crow's bookshelf and you'll spot titles like The Tempest, Paradise Lost, and The Leviathan. Coolest of all might be the oversized shell that Jared and Maisie take shelter in.
Get your strength.
Scholars of Hugh Lofting's Dr. Dolittle book series might remember the mythic giant pink snail that the imaginary globetrotter was in pursuit of. Perhaps the snail trail just ended up in a different work of fiction. That's what happens when Eddie Murphy takes over your intellectual property. Number 2. The Moana beginnings. We've mentioned writer-director Chris Williams a lot, but where exactly did he come from? Williams is a veteran animator with co-directing experience on Big Hero 6 and a number of impressive story credits. Most significantly, he worked on a little hit called Moana. Once you know that, you might detect some parallels between the two features. The playful dynamic and arc of camaraderie between Jacob and Maisie seems to echo that of Maui and Moana.
Ever defeat a lava monster?
No. Have you?
The oceanic setting and internal struggles with identity and destiny are also similar. And don't forget the lovable, dim-witted, non-human sidekicks.
My hook is the coolest collectible.
Williams struck azure gold with Moana, and he's borrowed that experience for the Sea Beast. We can't wait to see what he does next.
Looks like a real shipwrecker.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Criticism of history. At the movie's climax, Maisie learns that the war between monsters and men has resulted from lies told by leaders and some disastrous misunderstandings.
Our history is a lie.
While the suggestion to question leadership may be overt, it's easy to forget the strongest source of the conflict: written history. Maisie grew up reading stories of fallen heroes and devilish sea monsters. As she questions the accuracy of the tales, she realizes that the truth is anything but gospel. Inquisitive minds in the Sea Beast come to doubt historical teachings that were once considered infallible.
Maybe you can be a hero and still be wrong.
Criticizing the past can be as scary as uncharted waters, but perhaps the film is urging us to do so in our own present day. That is a lesson we might not want to miss.
No more monster hunting!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.